Hello and welcome. Today's exciting episode is all about style. What is your style? What do you want your style to be? And how can you make your dream wardrobe?
It's perfect. 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 Perfect jacket.
I was listening to old episodes of the podcast Love to Sew, and episode 108 is Create Your Dream Wardrobe. And basically, they give you this free worksheet. There's a link below in the description box, both to the podcast episode, and also you basically just have to give them your email address so they can send you a newsletter every now and again. And they give you this free PDF workbook. And I downloaded it. It's pretty cool, but and it's free, obviously. So yeah, if you want it, it's there. Otherwise, I'm just going to show the questions as I answer them myself. But anyway, so that you have to do three things. First, you have to define your style, and then you do a wardrobe assessment, and then you plan and the outfits you're going to create. So it's pretty simple. Okay, so let's do the first section. Oh, and two of these dresses are mine. Two of them are designer inspo. So all the pictures that you'll see are either like this is Chanel with embellishment by Lesage. This is Armani. So they're just things, Chanel and Lesage embellishment again on the pink Dior. And yeah, Chanel, I'm getting distracted, but I do love Lesage beading and embellishment work. It's just so beautiful. Okay, let's get back to the workbook. Okay, so we just have to answer a bunch of questions to find out what your status quo is. Do you have a signature style or do you like to mix things up? Both. I do have a uniform, but I also like to play dress-ups. Are you more focused on comfort or style? Both together. List 3 descriptive words to describe your current style. Okay, the first thing I thought of was Paris Couture Week because I love unique pieces that are extreme in their artisanal craftsmanship and yeah, I don't know, unique, expensive and labor intensive, I guess, are the 3 things that I really like about specific pieces in my wardrobe. But describe your current style. I don't know, scruffy Parisian chic, I guess. So what I mean by that is I usually just wear a jeans and a t-shirt and then a really, really expensive jacket over the top. And I don't dye my hair, I don't wear makeup, that sort of thing. So yeah, I think Parisian chic, but a little on the scruffy side. Next 2 questions are about the practicalities of your life. So what are the top 3 activities that make up your current lifestyle? Reading, writing, making sewing videos, I guess. Does your current wardrobe work for those primary activities? Yes. I mean, yeah. Okay, so the next thing is, what do you like about your style and what don't you like about your style? Well, I have loads of tweeds and I wish instead they were made into jackets. What do I like about my style? These jackets, they're unique, and some of my dresses, particularly the layer cake dresses, they are so unique and fun and they make people smile. But also by making them, I'm keeping these age-old crafts alive and I get to make and wear these unique pieces. No one in the world has jackets like these and no one else in the world ever gets to wear them either. So yeah, if you had to survive some horrendous things in your life, I think it's really important to have unique things that are yours and yours alone that no one can take from you. I think it's important and, soul affirming. What don't I like about my style? Well, I don't have much storage room. I have to be really ingenious about how I store things. Like in a perfect world, if I lived in a really large house, each of my jackets would have their own archive box. But at the moment, I have them in storage boxes, 8 jackets in a box, and you have to be so careful and painstaking in the way that you carefully fold them into each box. And so, yeah, one thing I would change is I would have a bigger house, for sure. I'm not sure if that counts, but I kind of like my style, and it's already so practical that's, yeah, I don't know. It works for me. I'm certainly not suggesting it would work for everyone, but it works for me. So now that we've established our status quo and what our needs are, practical needs are, the next thing you have to do is discover your style. So you have to create a Pinterest board with at least 15 photos. Bless. I have like 50,000 photos on my Pinterest boards. Honestly, I don't think I could narrow it down to even 100. But okay, so we have to list 3 descriptive words or phrases that capture the vibe of your Pinterest board. Yeah, again, Paris Couture Week. Really, really original, expensive, amazing artisanal pieces is what I love. But also, yeah, quirky. Like, yeah, not just expensive for the sake of being expensive, but they have to be witty and intelligent as well. Next thing, what colours appear most frequently? All of them. All of them, literally. Yeah. I mean, I probably like red or purple less than any other colour, and rust and mustard. But I mean, if you put red with pink, absolutely gorgeous. Red with purple, interesting. Purple with navy blue, beautiful. So yeah, all of them, especially in combination, I would say. Yeah. Absolutely. In your Pinterest board of 15 photos, what trends do you see in fabrics, textures, and prints? Bold prints, unique textures, interesting ones, and fabrics, expensive, handmade ones. Like, my dream is to be able to just make jackets with Lesage tweeds. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Truly awesome. I love working with beautiful fabrics. And then the next one is, what trends do you see in silhouettes, garments, details, and styling? Typical Parisian silhouette. So fitted, but not, not to look at me. So fitted, but understated, I would say. I love Armani jackets as well. They're just so beautiful. Okay, now you have to describe your dream wardrobe in 1 or 2 sentences. Relaxed luxury with artisanal details, I guess. And how close is your current wardrobe to your dream wardrobe? Well, if I would make my tweeds up into jackets and bead them, it would be perfect. So it's on the right lines, but I just need more of everything that I already have. And I need a lovely big apartment or house in which to store everything and live. So we're being really realistic here. Okay, the next part is wardrobe assessment. So you're supposed to take out everything that you have, kind of like commering your whole wardrobe. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I have too much stuff. I already know I want to keep all my jackets, and I already have to keep all my dresses and shirts because I just made them, and for my YouTube channel you have to have everything so that you can make a video at the end of the year of everything that you made. So yeah, I'm going to keep everything, but I'll answer the questions. Ask yourself these 3 questions for each item. 1, does it fit in with your vision of your new style? 2, if it doesn't, can you alter this garment to make it fit in with your vision for your dream wardrobe? And if not, 3, is it an exception to the rule garment? So obviously you need workout outfit like active wear for when you're exercising, and that's not going to be as glam as your dream wardrobe. And you also need, to keep uniforms or, whatever. If you live in the cold, then a big bulky ski jacket isn't going to be your idea of glam, but it is going to be practical. So yeah, keep the exception ones and you just move on to the next item. And at the bottom, if the answer is yes to any of the above questions, you can put the garment back in the closet. If not, consider refashioning it, donating it, or recycling it. Then they have some tips. Apparently a lot of people keep things that they don't fit and then they feel guilty about not fitting them. I think you can be selfish in other ways, but you do you. And treat yourself. Use this as an opportunity to spend more money on good coat hangers. Yeah, I agree with that one, but I don't think every time you decide you want a new look, you should rush out and buy expensive basics, because then you just end up with loads of expensive, boring things in your wardrobe that you don't like. Don't ever force yourself to try and like a style that you don't like just because you think other people will think you're cool. No one's ever going to think you're cool. No one ever thinks they're cool. Just, I don't understand the concept of external validation. You just got to like yourself. Anyway, each their own, I guess. And the last tip is make everything as visible as possible. Yes, absolutely. You can only sort of get inspired by what you can see. If you have to spend 20 minutes rifling around to try and find a belt or a ring or a scarf or something. You're never going to think of it. Whereas if everything's on display, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like walking into the best vintage store ever. I love my wardrobe. So yeah, I definitely agree that you should do that. There was another list on the item on the tips. Store similar items together. Absolutely agree with this. I have all my dresses in one area, all my tweeds, all my jackets, all my unbeaded jackets, all my shirts. It just makes everything so much easier because you're like, I need one of them, I need one of them. Yes, absolutely. And you can see all your options in one particular genre just right there in front of you. Makes things so much easier and more fun. Okay, so number 3, this is the third part of the process. Now we have to make plans to create. Yay! If you don't have a strong sense of style, or you haven't in the past, but now you feel like that you've finally found your stride, or you're sort of nestling into who you really are now, then I think this part of the workbook is really useful. So you have to look at everything that you've kept from your closet and look at, are there any holes? What do you need to add to make your closet what you want it to be? So like, for example, if you don't have a black tweed jacket, then you kind of, I don't know, for my style, if I didn't have a black tweed jacket, I would have to make one. And if I didn't have at least 5 really good pairs of dark denim jeans, then I would have to invest in them. Not enough really good quality t-shirts, have to get some of them. So yeah, really good heeled boots that I can walk on, cobblestone streets on, and, things that you can travel in, but also wear in a business, environment, things like that. So I don't know, it depends on your life, but there's probably really important things to your particular style of, genre of style. And do you have them? Do you have enough of them? So yeah, there's no use having one perfect white t-shirt. You need a few. You need to make a list and then decide which ones you're just going to buy and which ones you're going to make. And once you've decided which ones you're going to make, then you have to search for patterns, and then you have to prioritize. So the last thing you have to do is, what are your next 3 projects and what is the timeline? So if you're really busy and you can only manage one thing a month, or one thing every 2 months, or 3 things a month, whatever it is, just make it realistic. You don't want to stress yourself out. You want it to be achievable. I started making my own jackets probably 14, 15 years ago, and I made one every 2 months. So the first month I would just make the jacket. There was a lot of hand sewing involved. And then the second month I would do the beading on it. And yeah, it worked for me. It seems really slow, but now, a decade and a half later, I have just so many jackets. So you can't grow an 80-year-old tree overnight, but you can end up with an incredible wardrobe if you just chip away at it. So yeah, I think it's worth the effort, but I mean, each person's got to make up their own mind about that. And then at the end of the workbook, they give you these sewing project worksheets. There's 3 of them, but I mean, just print the PDF booklet off twice and you'll have, 6. And you can sketch the thing that you're going to make. You can plan it out. I think it's really cool. I would, download this just for the end bit. As I said, it's really useful. But it was created by 2 women. One of them owns a fabric store and the other one makes sewing patterns. So yeah, I don't really agree with their checklist order. That said, it is really common to buy all the things, then for people to think about it. But I think if you're making jackets in particular, I think you should get the pattern and you should make a mock-up out of cheap fabric, just any leftover cotton that you have. And then from that, you can get a much more realistic idea of how much fabric you need, because yeah, people just get the wrong amount of tweed all the time, like not enough or too much. And if I only have, X amount of dollars to spend on tweed, I would prefer to know exactly how much I need. And that way I can get the more expensive tweed if I only need a smaller amount. Whereas, I just think you should get your value for money. So doing just a tiny little bit of prep work by doing that mock-up just is such a good investment in time that means you can invest in such a better way with your expensive fabrics. Next year, I think I'm going to try and make 50 new jacket patterns in the year. So almost one a week. And yeah, I'm not going to waste any of my tweeds on it. I'm just going to use my tweeds to make my regular Vogue 7975s and that other McCall one, which is very similar to the Vogue 7975. But yeah, I'm also going to try and find other jacket patterns that I like. And once I like some well enough to go ahead into tweed, then I'll be able to work out exactly how much tweed I need for each one. And that way you just, because I work so hard on getting a really good fit for this particular jacket pattern here, I just cropped it a little bit more and did a few other tweaks, and I was able to get it out of 1 meter of fabric. Outside America, fabric is usually sold by the meter. And and even when I buy at American stores, I can usually get one of these jackets out of a yard. So for me, that means that I have to buy less yardage, and therefore I can buy the more expensive one each time. And it's just so awesome. But even if there is a more complicated jacket, like with collar and lapels that I like, that takes 2 yards of fabric or 2.5, I'm going to know how much exactly it needs. So yeah, with tweeds, that's important because sometimes they only make 10 yards of something or 20 yards and that's it. I mean, they might make it again in 5 years, maybe. But the great thing about tweeds is that they're unique. So there you go. That is the Love to Sew guide to creating your own dream wardrobe. So as I said, in the description box below, there's a link to episode 108 of their podcast where they sort of work through this workbook in real time and tell you what their answers were. And they also have another episode, 214. It's recorded a year or two later, and basically the listeners wrote in on what their answers were when they did the workbook. So that one's really interesting too. I'll link that as well. So I hope that has been fun and informative and helpful. I probably do another style episode in a couple of weeks about my style evolution, but I thought this one would be useful first so you can sort of have the workbook and get working on your own dream wardrobe. So thank you very much for watching. Next episode is going to be me combering my tweeds. Look at that lovely clean sideboard. Oh my goodness. Yeah, footage was taken when they were still sitting neatly in piles ready to be put away. But now they're all organised and put away. It's such a relief. So good luck with your style assessment and working out how you're going to build your dream wardrobe. Let me know how it goes. It does take a lot of time and effort to make your own wardrobe, but you get to have just the most awesome, unique pieces. And I get to make things that I really could never afford to buy. And I love wearing them. I love making them. They seem like a really good investment of my time to me. So yeah. If it brings you joy, have a fabulous wardrobe. And happy sewing!